What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 476th edition of TSR Live. It is Thursday, June 27th, 2019. We are streaming live to Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, so however you are watching, wherever you're watching from, thank you for making the Sharpe reality a part of your daily routine. Okay, let's get right to it. So I found an article that was published just a few weeks before the 2016 presidential election. Was written by Sara Schaefer, and the article is called Feminism Should Come with a Warning Label. I'm going to bring it up on the screen now. It's Feminism Should Come with a Warning Label, and it's written by Sara Schaefer. Now, Sara Schaefer is I think she's a stand-up comedian. Anyway, Sara Schaefer, I guess is still probably a staunch feminist. I don't know much about her, but my guess is that because she wrote this article means that she is probably a feminist. She's probably been a feminist for a while, but she seems to have figured out that feminism is not all peaches and cream. She's come to a point in her life and in the feminist cycle that there are costs to feminism. So you see the picture, it says boss blank blank. Again, I'm trying to keep this YouTube friendly. Boss blank female dog, basically. Boss intelligent donkey female dog. Anyway, and you see underneath it says warning, this bleep is hard. This again just goes to show that women want all the accolades and the titles without actually having to be those things or dealing with those drawbacks. Okay? Men who want to be leaders, we understand the rewards and the risks. Okay? We understand that part of the risk is we have to be responsible for everybody. The buck stops with you. You are the scapegoat. The scapegoat. You have to make difficult decisions. Women don't want the risk or the responsibility. They only want the rewards. And Miss Schaefer wrote this article as a cautionary warning to let these girls know what awaits them if they decide to be one of these staunch, hardcore feminists. So let's go ahead and start and read the article here. So she says, quote, I recently saw a Facebook post going around that encouraged girls to be loud, telling them not to laugh at boys' jokes if they're not funny, to speak up, to not apologize, to not smile upon request, to take up space, to be a bad blank woman. She continues, it says, these types of inspirational girl power messages have been dominating my timeline for months now, obviously because we're living in a nightmare where sexism personified is running for president against the first ever female nominee. It feels like a perfectly constructed joke. The irony feels a little too neat sometimes, as if this script was written for a Shondaland show. Shonda Rhimes, I think she does Grey's Anatomy. And it just never ends. I'm treading water in a sea of bad headlines, wave after waves of damaging words and ideas hitting me in the face. It is actually making us sick. And she continues, so I get people's need for a feminist call to arms, for pep talks and poetry and Pinterest quotes, a string of buzzwords thrown about like life preservers after a shipwreck. Grab them, hold on to them, try not to drown. But there's often a hollowness to these messages. I get a tiny pang whenever I read them, which is that these messages almost never come with a warning label. So she starts with, you go down the article, she talks about how she was a kid and this and that and the other. I'm not gonna read all that because that's just her talking about herself, which women absolutely love to do. But she makes a very good point here, right? She makes a very good point here. Let's start with, so when I see these overly simplistic messages, okay? Again, feminists don't talk about the consequences of being feminist. Like with the Dubai girls, right? People, girls see these Dubai girls live in this lifestyle. They see the private jets, the $1,000 champagne, the designer shoes, and all the rest of that. But the mental and the psychological damages that comes from performing unspeakable sexual acts is what they leave out. And this is what Sara Schaefer is talking about. So let's go down to the first warning label that she warns them about. What she's going to do, she's going to point out these feminist tropes, and she's going to define what they mean, but then she's going to talk about what awaits them on the other side. So the first one she says is be loud. She says the warning, be loud, but like, can you be loud in a cute, sexy way? That will make it easier, she says. Make sure your loud is coated in sugar. The boys sure do like sugar, but even then, they might spit it out. In fact, it doesn't matter what your message is. Most people would prefer if you just toned it down a bit. I say this all the time, gentlemen. Guys don't like to be around girls who are loud and brash. This is what girls like in men, but men don't like this in women. What she's saying here, gentlemen, is that it's okay to be heard. Like, we're not telling women to sit there and keep your head down and shut up. No. It's okay to be heard. Just do it in a feminine way. Don't do it in a masculine way. And yes, that means sugarcoating. Sugarcoating gets a bad rap, but it's not bad to sugarcoat things if you're a woman. Okay? Women sugarcoat things for their kids all the time. They sugarcoat things because they don't want to come off as a female dog. You guys can read between the lines there. Sugarcoating is a feminine trait, and yes, sometimes things do need to be sugarcoated, especially when it comes to talking to women about other women. Now, obviously, I don't sugarcoat anything because I'm a man, but you guys get the point. Sugarcoating gets such I don't sugarcoat anything. When a woman says, I don't sugarcoat anything, that just means you don't act like a woman. You're trying to act like a man. That's nothing to be proud of. Being loud and I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. Listen, that's all well and good. Just be prepared to be looked at in some type of way by both men and women. Men don't like women who act like men, and neither do women. Let's go to the next one. Don't let men interrupt you. Warning, she says, when you stand up for yourself, they're not going to like that one bit. Recently, I was in a meeting and the topic of feminism came up. During the conversation, I was repeatedly interrupted by several men. When I jokingly pointed out what they were doing as an example of the problem, I was told, quote, well, maybe you're being interrupted a lot because you never stop talking. I wanted to scream. In parenthesis, she says, also, I can just say telling women not to let men interrupt you is absurd. Use telepathy to get inside a man's brain to change his behavior. You go, girl. So right there, she's making fun of this actual trope. Let's go back to what she talked about. The topic of feminism coming up in a meeting and you keep getting interrupted. What did you expect to happen? When you're talking about feminism in a meeting, of course men are going to interrupt you. She tried to joke about it and say, see, this is what I'm talking about. And they quickly put her back in your place. Well, maybe you're being interrupted because you don't stop talking. And again, and even if you were, men interrupt other men. It is what we do. Okay, listen, it is part of the way we communicate. Most of the time it's done respectfully and it's reciprocated respectfully. If I'm on a podcast with Ryan Stone or Rollo Tomasi or Anthony Dream Johnson or Steve the Dean, every once in a while we cut across each other, but we do it respectfully. But women take everything that men do as disrespectful because we had the audacity to interrupt them. As usual, they are outthinking the room. Let's go to the next feminist trope. Take up space. Warning, Sara says, there is a small space provided for you. When you take up more space than what is allotted, you will feel the squeeze. It's simple physics. Not only will you feel it, but it will bruise. For the past few years, she says, I've been pitching TV shows. You'd be surprised how often the statement, we really want female-led projects, is quickly followed by, but this is probably too female. You start to subconsciously preempt your pitches with some clever acknowledgement that you're a woman, and it surely is a problem. But it is one we can totally overcome. Everyone's talking a lot about breaking down barriers for women these days, but in many places, the walls stand firmly in place. You'll often feel the need to apologize for just being there, taking up space. Again, this is a masculine activity. Imagine, if you would, for just a second, guys, what a woman would look like sitting with her legs wide open to take up space, like on a subway or on a bus just to take up space. Women are small and dainty, and crossing your legs to make herself look as small as possible, that is feminine. That's attractive. Sara even kept it real by talking about it bruising. This is a great analogy because when women try to take up space, they find out that it's not what they're supposed to do because, again, it is a masculine trait. I love what she says here when she says the walls stand firmly in place. Yes, they are firm because of men. There's no room for brash, bossy females who want to barge their way in. The reason why we're not letting you in is because you have 2 X chromosomes and you're trying to take up space. If you get something out of my content, like, comment, subscribe, and share. My channel does not grow without you guys sharing my videos. So text your friends, blast us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, get the word out, guys. Make sure you guys get your hands on my 7-hour audio course on how to build a quality woman from the ground up. It is absolutely free for a limited time only. All you got to do is plug in your email and you are good to go. I'll actually go ahead and put the chat in the link, or the link in the chat right now. The link is also in the description of this video, or you can go to donovansharpe.com/free-course. Again, that's donovansharpe.com/free-course. Or you can just go to the homepage and scroll down a little bit, and the pop-up will take you to the landing page where, of course, you can get the course. I want you guys to keep in mind, you guys probably, I actually got some messages and emails about this yesterday. Keep in mind that it does take a few minutes for the course to be delivered to your inbox. The service that I use, which is MailChimp, it sends the course in batches. Doesn't send them out one by one. It waits until it collects. I think it sends it like every 5 minutes or something like that. So don't freak out if you submit your email and you don't have it in your inbox immediately. Just be patient. Check your email after a couple of minutes and it'll be in there. Also keep in mind that it might end up in your spam folder or your promotions folder if you are using Gmail. All right, I'm going to play a commercial for you guys. All right, let me bring it up here. Give me 2 seconds here. All right, I'm going to play a commercial for you guys. And what this commercial is called, it's called Sorry Not Sorry. Take a look and listen.
Sorry, can I ask a stupid question?
Sorry, do you have a minute? Sorry. Yeah. Sorry.
There he is. Mind if I squeeze in here?
Sorry. 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 I go first.
No, it's just, I was gonna say it. I have a question. Why don't we go back to the original thing that we did?
Morning. You got a minute?
Sorry, not sorry. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, so let me get back on. Let me get this off of here. So you guys saw what happened in that commercial. This commercial is the embodiment of the feminist message. Mainstream media is encouraging women to strip themselves of all submissiveness. They're encouraging women to strip themselves of all femininity in order to be treated like an equal. But what these commercials don't tell them is that if they act this way, they're going to rub most people the wrong way. It's all fun and empowering until your coworkers, both male and female, stop inviting you out to lunch with the department. Nobody wants to be around a woman who doesn't act like a lady. You saw the guy, she says, sorry, not sorry, and she takes the cover from him. Okay. And then it shows him rolling over to hug her. Oh, she was so masculine. She's sorry, not sorry. How strong and independent of you. I'm so much more attracted to you, so now I'm really going to snuggle up on you. No, that's not how that works in the real world, gentlemen. That's not how it works. All right, let's get back to the article here. All right, so the next thing she points, I just wanted to point out that commercial because that commercial again, that I think that fits in with this particular article. So let's continue on here. Okay? So the next one that she points out is don't laugh at the dumb jokes men make. Warning, Sara Schaefer says, laughing at men's dumb jokes opens many doors for you. When you're the wet blanket, you'll be left out and passed over. Nobody, she says, wants a blowhard around. I experience this feeling often. Every time a male comedian gets into some sort of trouble with the public, people expect female comics to take a side, to either defend him till our last breath or join the SJW bloggers and be forever banished from the cool kids table. When you decide to, listen to this, when you decide to be a feminist in this world, be ready to constantly have to make choices in spaces that allow for zero nuance. What she is telling you guys, or ladies, is she is telling you, listen, you attract more bees with honey than vinegar. In other words, be a lady. She also says nobody wants to be around a blowhard. She's right. No, nobody wants to be around a woman who acts like a bro in the office. I talked about this in my Sheryl Sandberg video. Sheryl Sandberg was belly aching about how women are judged on how they do their work and not their work performance. She talks about how women are judged because they're too bossy or too this or too that or aggressive. Men and women alike do not like bossy, aggressive women. This isn't a construct. This is Mother Nature. This is how this works. The next one she points out is stand with the other women. Warning, she says, many of the other women already hate you because of all the things listed above. Your behavior, she says, will make it very inconvenient for them to keep operating comfortably in the boys' club. Your effort to take up more space will feel like an invasion into their space. Some of them won't want or need your support because you have a disease they don't want to catch. Oh, and you'll need to decide if you really want to walk the walk, because when you truly choose to support other women, you kind of lose the right to be really shitty to them behind the scenes. Guys, these are the consequences. This is what she's talking about. Once you've been branded a feminist, you paint a target on your back. A while back, I talked about Devon's boss. Devon's boss was Rosie the Riveter, hardcore, staunch feminist. People at work complained about her all the time because she was just so hypercritical to everybody about everything. And she was unnecessarily critical. I can promise you the reason why she was so hypercritical all the time is because she felt like that's what she had to be. Well, men are hypercritical all the time, so I need to find something to be hypercritical. She was never, ever happy. This is why she was fired. Then she talks about your behavior. That's the loud, brash, bossy behavior. That's the male behavior. Ladies, you cannot act like a man and be expected and expect to be treated like a lady. That's what feminism is. I said this at the top of the show. They want all the benefits of being a man plus the benefits of being a woman, and it doesn't work that way. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Blade, but Wesley Snipes' character Blade, he was described as, listen, man, like you're a vampire. You have all of our strengths and none of our weaknesses. That's in the movies. Feminism doesn't work that way. You don't get male privilege plus female privilege. Then she talks about, she says, your effort to take up more space will feel like an invasion into their space. Dude, it is an invasion of male space. And I'm here to tell you, men are tired of it. Everything we do as men, women want to invade it. They want to barge in. So when women try it, when they try to barge in, they are met with resistance, as they should be. Then she says, some of the other women won't want or appreciate your support. These are the women who don't want to be grouped in with the feminists. Okay? These are the women who are like, listen, don't put me in that box. I want to be a kind, submissive woman. I like the fact that my male coworkers treat me like a lady. I like the fact that they take me out to lunch because they know I'm not going to hashtag me too. But by the same token, I'm not acting like a loud, brash, bossy man. They don't want these feminists to upset the apple cart in the world. Listen, as far as they're concerned, listen, you can upset the apple cart in your neck of the woods. You keep that stuff away from me. You cannot, and then right at the end, you can't be like the typical woman and talk junk about other women behind the scene. So when you truly choose to support other women, you lose the right to be kind of crappy to them behind the scene. Again, women talk junk about each other all the time, but if you choose to support these feminist women, you can't really talk trash about them. It's you against the world, right? And then finally, the last one she points out is be a badass girl boss. Warning, when you start your new life as a badass girl boss, you will constantly ask yourself, what does this even mean? Am I allowed to take naps anymore? You'll never know, she says, if you're being a feminist enough. And the growing list of compromises you'll be asked to make just to get through one effing day will eat away at your resolve. Can you even make a dent if you're so bogged down by your own principles that no one ever sees or hears you? Can you become successful without at least playing their game a little bit? Can you fight for your own empowerment while also making space for others less privileged than you are? Am I ever allowed to make mistakes? So, when she says, what does this even mean? Gentlemen, that's just it. Girls never really know why they're doing it when they start this whole feminist thing. They just wanted the title. They just wanted to be a badass girl boss. And now that they have it, they're like, well, what does this all mean? And she is damn right about it eating away at your resolve. This is why women are not built for this stuff. As men, we have endless resolve. Females do not. Yes, things eat at our resolve, but we're men. We recover a lot more quickly than women. Then she asks, well, can you be successful without playing the game? I'm here to tell you, ladies, no, you can't. Okay? This is that vinegar versus honey comparison. If you want to be treated like a lady, you need to act like one. So finally, in the end, she says, I'm not trying to make you feel bad for printing out your favorite feminist quote and sticking it up inside your cubicle. If these mottos keep you afloat, do it. I'm just saying, you've put on the life jacket, but now what? You still have to make it to the shore. Guys, listen, Sara Schaefer is as hardcore a feminist as there ever was. And I don't know how old she is. I didn't do enough research, but she's beginning to realize that feminism isn't all it's cracked up to be. It's not about these make-believe girl power tropes and, feminist fist pump. No, she is starting to see that there is some pushback that comes to feminism. Listen, and I agree with Sarah. If you want to be a hardcore, staunch feminist, please, by all means, do so. This is a free country. You can do and believe whatever it is you want to do. Just understand that there is a price to be paid. This is one of the many tropes of my podcast. If there's anything you want in life, whether I, Donovan Sharpe, agree or disagree, there is a price to be paid. If you want to be that hardcore feminist, that badass girl boss, that's all well and good. Just understand that it's not all peaches and cream. You're going to have to pay a price. There are going to be some drawbacks, and you are going to be met with some resistance. This is how it is in the real world. You're not online anymore. You're not in your little echo chambers. You're not in your little Twitter blogs. You're not in your little feminist Reddit. No, you're out in the real world where people don't feel comfortable with speaking out publicly against feminism, right? Because they always get talked down. But you want to know something? Just because they can't speak out publicly does not mean that they can't do their own brand of standing up. Interrupting women who are being loud and brash and bossy at meetings, right? Alienating women who I guess who would prove to be feminists, right? Well, do we want to invite Sarah to lunch? No. She's one of those. One of what? She's a feminist. Ooh, we can't bring her lunch because she's going to hashtag me too. This is the price you pay, ladies. This is the price you pay. Thanks for watching, guys. I will see my patrons tonight at 6:30 Eastern.